Welcome to Paxton Live. As a station user, we have designed the software to be as simple and easy to use as possible, with only the menu options that you will use. Let's start by showing you how to log in. So first of all, open up your normal web browser and go to online.paxoft.co.uk. You can bookmark this page if it's easier as well. Here it will ask you to enter your credentials. This is what we call the cloud login. So you should have these details. So put your username and password in and click on log on. Once connected online, you'll see the software screen. From here, you can either log on to the live database, which is called here the NCI Live, or you can log on to the training database. So to do that, click on Training Data. And you will see the training database here. So you just double click on Training. And this will ask you to enter your software logon. So again, you should have your user code and your passcode. Enter that in there and click on log on. And this will connect you to the training database in this case. The software is designed so everyone inputs their accounting transactions into the same database. This is to allow reporting for the whole charity together, as well as the stations separately. So it's been configured so that each station can only view the transactions and balances for their particular station. So if I was logged in as Brancaster station, then I would only see the Brancaster bank accounts and transactions, and I would see no other stations. Your group treasurers will have access to all the transactions and balances for all the stations in their group. The input section is where you'd enter all the money coming in and out of your station, and also your bank reconciliation. So if we have a look at receipts, so in here you select your money account that the money's going into. So when you click the down arrow, you will only see your bank accounts for your station. So you just select on the one that's relevant for the receipt booking and fill in the rest of the information. And over here is your document field. So this is where you'd attach your scanned documents. There's more information on uploading documents and attaching them in a further help document and in the training manual. So in the grid at the bottom here, this is the account code that you want to analyse the receipt to. So in here, where you see this symbol here, it means you can right click. So if we right click, that will give you a drop down list of all the accounts you can select from. So you just click on the relevant one and fill the rest of the information in. As I say, there's lots more information on exactly what you need to put into each of these fields in the training manual and the further videos. So you'll see that the payment screen is the same sort of format. So again, you'd select the money account when the money's coming out of. Well, it's very important as well, this effective date. So this is the date it affects the account, so you must make sure that goes into the right month, because this is the date that you will see on your bank reconciliation. You've got gift aid donations. So any money you get given from a donor that you can claim gift aid on, this is the screen that you would enter it in. The donor would need to be set up as a donor in the system first. Money transfers. So this would be any money moving between the bank accounts and money accounts in your station. So you'll see wherever you've got a station code, it will default to your station. This is controlled by who you log in as. So you can't ever book anything to a different station. The money account, again, you will only see the money accounts relevant to your station. So you just choose the money account the money's coming out of, so your current account, and then the money account is going into, so you could be moving it to petty cash, for example. And then you have bank reconciliation. So this is the screen that you'd use to reconcile all the entries going in and out of your bank. So further information on this is in another help file, and it will tell you exactly what you need to put into each of these fields and exactly what you need to do. That's the input section. So very simply, you've basically just got the 5 different ways of inputting the money coming in and out of your station. Looking at the inquiries menu now, so you have 4 different types of inquiries. So if we start with transaction inquiry, so this will allow you to view all the transactions against each of the accounts in the system. So the accounts being the receipts and payments accounts, the money in and the money out, and also your bank accounts. So first thing you need to do is you'll need to select the account code you're interested in. So you can just click the down arrow at the top here, and it will give you a list of all the account codes. So you just scroll through and find the account code that you're interested in, and your bank accounts will all be at the bottom. Again, you will only see the bank accounts related to your station, so you can just click on the one that you're interested in, and it will display all the transactions that have gone through your bank account. So all the income, money in, and the expenditure, the money going out. And it will be in date order with the latest at the top. So in here, you can use the asterisk column here to double click. So if I double clicked on this first line here in this column, this will display the details of that particular transaction. From here also, you can use the change button at the bottom to change something about the transaction or delete it completely. You also have a D column, which means document. So where you have a document attached to a transaction, you'll see a D in this column. If you want to view that document, all you need to do is double click on the D against the particular line, and it will load the document up for you. You also have a balance. So this will show you the monthly balances against the particular account you've selected. And you can also add some notes if you wish to against your account codes. Also, these arrows at the top here will scroll you through your accounts. So if I use the arrow pointing to the left, this will scroll through your accounts. Or I can use the up arrow to take you to the very first account in the list. Or I could use the down arrow to take me to the very last. We have a look at station inquiry now. So this is the screen that will show you the transactions related to your station. So it'll show you everything basically. So you'll see the big long list here of transactions, and again as before you can double click on the asterisk column to drill down into the particular transaction, which you can then change or delete it if you want to, and you've got the D column for your documents. And as before, you have a balance and also a money balance. So the money balance will show you the amount of money you have in your station, which is all your money accounts added together, so your current account, deposit account and petty cash. The donor inquiry screen will allow you to view the donations for your particular donors. So the first thing you'll need to do is select the donor you want to look at. So you can do this by reference, surname, address or postcode. Whichever one of these has got a down arrow against it. So let's say we're searching for someone by surname. What I could do is just click the down arrow and it will give me a list of everybody. And then you just scroll down the list and find the one that you want. Alternatively, if you type in the first few characters of the surname and then click on the down arrow, it will show you a list of all those donors that match that criteria. So all the donors that have a surname starting, in this case, with SMIT. So you just click on the one that you want and it will show their details on the screen. Now at the bottom of the screen you can click on donations. This will show you all the donations this donor's ever made, and as in previous screens you can double click on the asterisk column to drill down into the transaction. This allows you to change or delete it. It will also show you the dates that they made the donation on, and you can also click on this view gift aid declaration. If you click on this button it will display the gift aid declaration that you would have uploaded and attached to the donor. You've also got a totals button at the bottom, so this will give you some donation totals for this donor. So they might need to know how much they've donated in a particular tax year or calendar year. So this will give you that information. And project inquiry will allow you to view the transactions entered against a particular project. So when you have projects set up in the system, they will show you here in your list, and you'll just select the ones that you want and you can view the transactions for that particular project. More information on projects and how they work will be in the help section on the Paxton Live website. Moving on to the reports menu. So you have a list of 4 different reports that you can run. So we'll start off by looking at the income and expenditure report. So most of the information is filled in for you and it's set to the right criteria. So all you should need to do is fill in the period that you want to run the report for. So if we click the down arrow here, let's say we're going to run it for a month. Then you need to select the month that you want to run it for. So if we do it for this month or November or whichever month that you want to run the report for. It will automatically put your station code in at the top here, so you don't need to touch that. And all these sections here are basically group headings for each of the income and expenditure codes, the receipts and payments codes. So once you've done that, you can just click on preview or print. And the report will be displayed on the screen. It may be more than one page, so you can scroll through that using the options at the top of the screen. And from here you can also export the report into various different formats. So you could export it into a PDF, for example. Again, we have documentation on how to export reports and a separate video as well. Just going back to the report, as well as showing all the ins and outs for that particular period, it also shows you the money and the amount of gift aid and VAT that you're owed. So it'll show you the figures from the start of the month, and then at the end of the report it will show you the figures at the end of the month. You have a cash movement report. So this will show you basically all the money coming in and out of the selected bank account. So cash basically of going in and out. So nothing to do with VAT or gift aid. So the first thing you need to do is select the account code. So it'll automatically default to your first bank account. You can click the down arrow and select a different one if you want to. Again, it will only show you the bank accounts for your station. Now you can make a period selection. So you could do it for a month, or you could do it for a date range. So let's say we wanted to do it for a date range. And then what you can do is you can either type the date in, or you can use the calendar box. So wherever you see this icon here, it means it's a calendar box, so you can select the date from here. So select the from and the to date. Again, the station will always be your station, so you can leave that as it is, and then you can preview the report, or you can print it as well. So this report will show you the opening balance, so the amount that was in your bank as of the first date, so in this case 1st of July, and it will show you all the money in and the money out, and then an end balance. Again, this report can be exported into various different formats using this export report option at the top. You also have a project income and expenditure report. So this will give you the income and the expenditure, the receipts and the payments that you have booked using a particular project. So every transaction that you enter would have a project code in it if applicable. You don't have to put a project against a transaction, but if it's for a particular project then you would do, and then you can use this report to show the income and the expenditure for that particular project. This will just show you balances, but if you want to see the actual transactions to do with the project, you can use the project transaction list report. The recent entries menu option will display the latest entries made by your user code, the one that you're logged in as. This can be useful if you want to remind yourself of the latest entry that you've made. So it'll give you a list here with the latest that you've logged at the top. If you want to go into the transaction, again as before, you have an asterisk column at the end here. You just double click on the line you want to drill down into. There's also a useful find option at the top, so you can find your transactions by certain different criteria. So if you want to find a transaction for a particular amount, for example, or perhaps for a reference, then you can use this to find the transaction. You have an other menu option. And this will give you things like donor maintenance, colour scheme and finish month. So donor maintenance is the screen that you need to use to add your donor details. So in here you'd record the person's name, address and gift aid details. You can also upload the gift aid declaration here. you have a colour scheme option. This allows you to change the colour scheme for your particular user. So if you want to change the background colour to a different colour rather than white, then you can use this screen. So this would only apply to the user you're logged in as, and only for the database you're logged in as. So if you're logged into the training database and you change your background colour, this wouldn't apply to the live database. You would also need to do it in that one as well. And the other option you have in here is finish month. So when you've finished a month, you would click on this button here, and it will ask you to enter the finish to date. So if I finish the month of November, for example, then you'd put the last date of November. If you finished up to the end of October, then you'd be putting in the 31st of October. And you just click on OK. Once you've done this, it means that you can't input or change any transactions up to that particular date. Your group treasurer will then know what date you finished your month up to, and if you do need to reopen it for any reason, you need to change something, then you'll need to contact them to do that. You're free to run through the training guide at any time, and you will always have access to the training database. The last thing to mention is how to log off. Just click on the log out button at the bottom. And you'll get one option, what will be to close Paxton Live. Just click on OK. And this will log you out and disconnect you from the cloud. And that's a brief overview of the software, but more details can be found on the Paxton Live website under the Station Users option. Each menu option has a written help sheet and also a short video that concentrates on that particular topic. We have a training reference guide and a training workbook which are designed to be used together. This will guide you through how to enter some of the example data, and there is also a YouTube playlist to go along with that, so you can see how each transaction is entered and also how to run reports. If you have any questions on the software, then please firstly contact your group treasurer.